Hi again, welcome back to Ink and Bourbon. I'm Patrick Leclerc, and today we're going to talk a little bit about writing process. And we're going to talk about the difference between plotting and pantsing, which is the terms that tend to get used a lot in the writing community. Plotting is just what it says on the label. It's you sit down and you plan your story before you write it. And pantsing is just winging it, just writing by the seat of your pants. So I'm going to tell you what I do. I can't tell you how to write. I can just tell you how I write. And if you find something valuable in that, that's great. I'm a complete pantser. I wing everything. I don't plan. You can find a lot of people who tell you the importance of planning and telling you how you should plan, how you absolutely need to sit down and write an outline and plan out your chapters and your story arcs and everything else. I can't do it. I've tried it. It kills my creative drive, and I wind up just staring at a blank page. So if I want to spend a whole afternoon staring at the page, not accomplishing anything, I write an outline. But generally, I have better things to do, like just make stuff up. So what I will do is I start with an idea. And a lot of times it's a character, sometimes it's a situation. It'll come to me when I'm not planning to write it. It'll come to me when I'm driving, when I'm doing something else. A lot of times when I'm listening to music, and I'll just get an idea and I'll sit down and I'll write that scene. And then when I've written the scene and I read it, I look at it and I want to know, who is this person? Who is this character? How did they get in that situation? What events brought these people there and what are they going to do next? And the story will grow from there. And as I write, I learn about the character. I learn about the situation. I learn about the world they're in because it builds logically from what went before. And my approach, I call it my Blitzkrieg approach to a first draft, where I just write, I push on to the end. I don't go back and fix things. I don't get hung up on any of the hard spots. If something's kind of writer's blocky or something's just not working, if the scene is tough, I will literally write square bracket, scene missing, square bracket, and write the next scene. So you go around the hard spots, leave those for the next draft to mop up, and get to the end. And at that point, this is rough draft stuff. The point in a rough draft isn't to get it perfect, it's to get it written. And then when I have it written, I can see where the story goes, I can see what the characters are, and then yes, I'm going to have a lot of cleanup because I made stuff up as I went along. But you're always going to have cleanup at the end of a first draft. So then you will look at it and you'll see, all right, this doesn't make sense with a thing that I thought of later, and you have to go back and fix it. That's fine. And usually by the time we're writing, you've seen enough movies, you've read enough books, that you understand plot and structure and arc. And it kind of becomes muscle memory after a while. There's a reason that stories follow a pattern, and we can identify that pattern. And so, to a large extent, you don't need to plan that out, or I don't need to plan that out. Maybe you do. Different people have different things that work for them, and I'm not trying to tell anybody how they should write. So, once I have the first draft finished, then I have to go back and I'll actually sit down and I'll write something like an outline after that. I'll write down every scene, I'll write what happens quickly, and then I'll look at them and I can look at that treatment, I guess, and see, okay, this is too front loaded with exposition. It's not enough action, so I'll move stuff around. This character I didn't think was going to be important. They became more important, so I need to build more of a backstory in. That's not a problem. That's going to be fixed in the edits. So that's how I work. And the difference is, before I've written the scene and gotten to hear the characters speak, hear the dialogue, seen the way they react to things authentically in a situation, I can't really plan. I can't know what their goals are going to be, what their change is going to be, what how they're going to react to things. I need to write it and see it and put my hands on it. It's like the difference between somebody who can sit down and read the whole directions all the way out and somebody who's just going to pick up the parts and see how things fit together to make something. So it's a different approach, and you need to use the approach that works for you. One of the bonuses, the unexpected benefits of this approach, I was reading a manuscript from a writer friend of mine, and Steve Godin, who wrote Kinless, which is a really solid epic fantasy. And there was a scene where the main character ran into another character, and they were introduced, and the other character said something that was completely surprising and changed the story, but it all made sense. Like, you read it and you're like, wow, I didn't see that coming, but it fits. It explains so much. And I made a comment in the manuscript when I sent it back to him. I said, wow, I didn't see that coming. And he said, you know what? Neither did I. And that's just the kind of happy accident that you're never going to get by writing an outline. So again, I can't tell you how to write. I can tell you how I write, and I can give you advice to try. And my advice is, when in doubt, just wing that mother. I mean, we're fiction writers. We make shit up. Just wing it. All right. Thanks very much for bearing with me. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe to this video. Like and subscribe to the channel. And hope to see you again. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.